Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, beautiful viewers. I am super excited for today's reading, and I'd like to welcome you for being here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome, welcome. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. So I'm super excited because Spirit wants to deliver your next big blessing. So this is a beautiful reading, and I cannot wait to get into it. Although before we get into your reading, I am delivering a collective message I was getting. So if you are wanting to go straight to your reading, you can certainly select from the timestamp down below. This is a pick a card or a pick an option, 1, 2, 3. But the collective message here is in regards to what's going on collectively around you energetically. So I was getting a lot of downloads yesterday, and one thing that kept coming through very, very, very strong was the color blue. Okay, like an electric blue, a strong blue, a vivid blue, and it just kept coming through. And now blue, disregard my dog barking in the background. So the blue could signify the throat chakra, and throat chakra is obviously communication, but how authentic we are being true to ourself. How are we communicating? How we're feeling? What we're truly wanting to communicate and express ourselves. And as well, in regards to how well we listen. Okay, so how well are we understanding what we hear? How well are we adapting to really making ourselves available in the present moments to listen to what others have to say around us? Because my dog is barking. So another thing coming through very strong was snakes. And these snakes were coming through, and it totally jolted me. It woke me up because it clicked, and it reminded me of something I had watched in regards to a Kundalini. Because when I was going through my Kundalini awakening, there was a lot of information I was coming across in regards to when you start to awaken, you dream of or see a lot of snakes. I did not ever see a whole bunch of snakes. It wasn't something I was ever seeing or dreaming about, but I was in this sort of lucid dream type energy because I wasn't quite asleep, although I was very, very tired, and I was seeing a bunch of snakes. And I've been seeing a lot of snakes in the readings. I mean, obviously a lot of oracle cards have snakes, which is all about rebirth, shedding the old. But the feeling I was getting with these snakes, it was very intense. And so I'm feeling as though either you or energy around you is coming into some sort of rebirth. If you have not yet been able to shed parts of yourself that you've been trying to release, I feel this is huge. And I also feel as though there's a big significant message in regards to healing, because snake is all about healing and the wisdom we take from experience. But the biggest one I was getting was someone is going through a rebirth or an awakening or a realization, an understanding, a spiritual awakening. And it's quite profound. It was very intense. And so shortly after that, I was getting a lot of downloads in regards to closing a door, which ties back to a dream I had, which was personal to me, but it was very real. It was like closing a door. And so the door is representing like a portal of sorts here, and there was a need to close the door, or a door was closing. So that would tie into any sort of snake energy, which is about shedding the old and closing a door to the past. Although I felt there was some urgency in closing the door, like timing was in play here. So then I started hearing it is time, and that there's no more time. So either the time is happening right now, or there's an urgency in regards to making something happen right now, but timing was coming through very strong, and there was a visit energy of higher self. So it was almost like a visit from a higher consciousness of self, or a higher consciousness of humanity, or a higher consciousness of understanding. And so this visit of higher self was confirmation, and it was validation to everything that's been going on. It was kind of confirming, acknowledging, affirming, if you want, what was going on in the present moment. So it was very reassuring, and it was providing comfort, and it was providing validation. So the higher self was coming through as a visitation, and this could be your own higher self coming through, or this could be a higher self of a very familiar energy that is trying to communicate with you. And it was like providing a confirmation that you're finally welcome, or that you've entered into some sort of phase here. Okay, it's like you're finally welcome, or you finally made it, or it's finally over, or it's finally begun. So, and both could be true. An end of a phase, a beginning of another, which ties into the snakes again. So all of this was coming through yesterday, very intense. And if you watch the readings, I did a couple of them yesterday. They were quite intense. So I thanked Spirit for delivering so many messages here. And I am so blessed to be doing this reading for you, to see what your next big blessing is, what's coming in for you. So I can't wait to get into this reading. All right. So option 1 is this beautiful rose quartz dragonfly palm stone. And then we have the labradorite peacock carving. Beautiful iridescent colors with the peacock. And then we have option number 3 with the whale. And it is an iridescent card here with the beautiful blues that we were talking about here. And it's a lot of shimmery rainbow colors here, and the whale's coming out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. If you are pulled to multiple of these piles or this energy, it's absolutely okay. It just means there could be multiple messages, aspects in regards to your energy Spirit is wanting to deliver and communicate to you. I do ask you use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear throughout this reading to confirm indeed this message is for you. All right, so the timestamp is in the description box in the pinned comment below. I will see you guys at your pick. See you there. Hello, my most beautiful. Pile 1, you picked the rose quartz with the dragonfly. Dragonflies do talk about seeing through illusions, and the rose quartz talks about love, self-love, empathy. Okay, so let's see. What do we have here for your next big blessing? I asked Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1 in regards to what is this next big blessing you can expect to see. I will put the timestamps below so you can get straight to the reading. For those of you guys who like to go through the intuitive tuning, then you can lay out these cards with me, and I cannot guarantee that I won't be delivering any sort of important messages through this sort of layout period, because sometimes I get hit with downloads. Okay, so I do ask you go back to the collective message at the beginning of this reading, just to make sure that there's nothing there that is missed in regards to what you're needing to know right now. All right, so let's go through this. Pile number 1, please use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether this is indeed your message. Hopefully we can fit these all here today. So we have 17 with nourishment. You're being asked to take time out for self-care. Number 8 coming through as well. We have dig, prairie dog. What do I want to carve out space for in my life? Air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have the planet of Saturn. Be realistic about, be concerned about, and you must wait before you can. Saturn is the ruling planet for Capricorn and Aquarius. We have You Are Living Poetry, 32, or the number 5. We have the Spark of Hustle, number 17, coming out twice. 17 could be a very important number, an apartment number, a birthday. I'm getting number 8 coming through again. I'm getting a lot of fire energy, specifically Leo energy, but you could be resonating with Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Okay. We have Clear Your Karma. I'm feeling Libra energy. And I'm also feeling Jupiter energy. Jupiter is the ruling planet for Sagittarius and Pisces. We have I Am Fulfilled by Love. We have High Honor, 25, or the number 7. Let's put that here for now. We have Glamour energy with Glam. Okay. The Akashic Record, we have the 3 of Scrolls, which I believe is the 3 of Swords in traditional tarot, setting your course. Although it is not the traditional meaning of the 3 of Swords here. I am going to just check to make sure that Swords is, or Scrolls is Swords, because I don't want to be guessing here. Just give me a second. You might. Okay, well, let's see. Scrolls. Scrolls is, yes, Swords. So let's just see. 3 of Scrolls. Wow, it opened straight to it. Setting your course. The captain of a ship stands on the forward bridge, surveying the horizons through a telescope. 2 officers nearby refer to an unrolled chart, a rainbow of colors. The sky. Okay, this is a great time to broaden your horizons in both your personal and business lives. Don't limit yourself to one direction. Your opportunities are greater than just what you see. When you widen your scope, you'll find the way to limitless options and boundless wealth. This card can also show a potential partnership or affiliation among 3 people who can be helpful on your path. Travel, relocation, or be on the agenda too. Okay. So, interesting, because the 3 of Swords in traditional tarot does speak of pain. It speaks of heartache, separation. I'm getting a lot of 3 of Wands from this energy. Okay, let's just keep going. We have the Moth. We have the Corvid, which is like a crow. Delivering communication here. It's also talking about rebirth here. Okay. We have erotic coming up as a key word. Okay, don't put too much weight into the word so much as what I'm picking up energetically. And we have this classroom. Looks like a teacher with a blackboard and then a couple of students here. And we have violate as a key word. And we have the oracle card of, it almost looks to me like a cloaked figure here, either looking out a window or at a painting in a museum, contemplating something here. Okay, violate. We have the darkening, number 12. 12th house, all about closures or closure and endings. It is also about healing, spirituality. It is about the afterlife, what's hidden, limiting beliefs. It's about the subconscious. Darkening is all about something kind of coming to an end here or closing out. We have the tier 52 or the number 7. Number 7. I feel this number came out for you guys and I'm not sure where. Oh yeah, right here with the high honor. So 25 and 52, mirrored numbers here. The tier, okay. 7 could be the chariot, about movement, victory. The tier is, I mean, it's emotions here. Could even be talking about experiencing a loss, which we were picking up with the 3 of Swords, but let's keep going. We have simplify, geometric patterns. We have the rats with 23 or the number 5. Rats could certainly be an annoyance or a persistent, consistent thing that we're trying to overcome here. We see the clover at the bottom. Clover is all about luck. I was feeling Jupiter energy coming through with this clear your karma. And the fact that we see 3 again and 3 here, and it was talking about 3 people. It could be a group of people or having to work with a group of people. Could certainly be involving your work. We have the alchemist, balance, and invention and destruction. Okay, we see an ink pot here and a feather pen. A bunch of shells, some acorns and some oak leaves and some crystals. So communication coming through. I'm getting heavy temperance and balance and making something happen here. I'm getting again with creating something. And the fact that we see crystals, which could be about grounding, about purifying. And the acorns with the oak leaves could be about the amount of time taking here to solidify something. The durability of something, the length of time to germinate something, and then of course the shells, which could definitely talk about protecting our emotions, being closed off, talking about emotions. I'm feeling Cancer energy. The astronomer with discovery and augury. Discovery and invention, interesting. The astronomer. Okay, so we have air energy coming through both of these. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We're feeling very heavy Libra energy. And the fact that Saturn rules Aquarius as well, that's coming through. Okay, so we have the horseshoe with good luck. We have wealth with all these pentacles that look like bolts. I'm getting 3 of Pentacles from the bolts here. It's almost, or sorry, not the bolts, the nuts. The nuts. And it looks like cogs in a wheel here. So I'm feeling very 3 of Pentacles. We have diamonds. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. I just heard pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds. Okay. Interesting. We have the feather. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. We're seeing the feather twice because we have it here with this alchemist card, and then we have the cup, and it says you should accept valid criticism. Let me see if you can see. Like a glove. Okay, so pile 1, just give me a minute to sit with this energy, see what I see, and get into your reading. This might take a bit. You might want to skip to your reading part now, okay? Okay, pile one. I know there's a lot of cards here, but I am getting your message quite clear, and we do have tarot if we have to pull from it. So just hang with me in case things change or needs to get peeled back here. But what I'm really sensing here is an experience that you had here that really made you feel a little bit uncomfortable. And it's been weighing on your mind here because I feel like you have been in an energy that's been maybe not quite as productive as you could be, or accomplishing what you want, or you see an energy in which you want to encompass, but you weren't quite sure how to get there or how to be the greatest version of yourself, like your highest version. And I do sense it requires you stepping up, like showing up. It could be because there is something on the horizon here that looks like it is beneficial to you. It's going to bring you a lot of abundance with the diamond and the wealth. It's going to push you to be the best version of yourself. I think you see this. I think you know that this is something that is there. And I feel like it's been very heavy on you because I feel like you've been surrounded by an energy that you just can't kind of shake off. It's been quite the lesson here, and I feel like if you could wave a magic wand to make things better, I think you would. I think it's been a lot of up and down, maybe a lot of back and forth. It's been quite the exercise here, and so I feel like you felt like an outsider. And I think like you feel as though through this experience you might have let yourself down, or just there's a lot here of doing things maybe not for your greatest good. Like you let yourself down, I feel here, and maybe you felt like you could never. And so I feel like you were looking at an ideal situation of a future. You're perceiving something that was quite beautiful, something that you felt very connected to, or felt very tied to, or felt like you wanted to connect to. And it's been feeling very impossible. And I do feel it's been taking a very, very long time. I feel like you've been very focused on trying to overcome certain parts of yourself, give yourself the care and the energy that you need personally for self to overcome personal struggle. Because I feel like you felt there was something within you that was not working, or that was wrong in some way. Like you couldn't live up to something, you couldn't measure up, you couldn't do something. And I felt like the equal energy here on the other side here was something that was pulling you passionately towards an understanding of something you really desired to bring in blessings to you. So I feel like you couldn't depend on yourself to make something happen, or you felt like if you were to go after this, whatever this is here, like you couldn't maintain, or you'd fumble, or you would destroy something here. And so I feel like there's been a lot of challenge in just allowing yourself to explore. But I feel like what this big blessing is showing here is that everything that you've been experiencing here, I feel, is coming to an end. Like I feel like you're stepping into a higher version of yourself. I feel like the dedication you put into trying to support yourself throughout this period of time has finally reached a point here where there is a big turn, okay? And I feel like whatever this big blessing is, I do feel like it's a big part of your destiny, and I feel you feel it is as well. And I feel like the challenge that you had to overcome here was part of your karma. And so I feel like this next chapter is almost like living in a dream of sorts, because I think you couldn't envision yourself existing in this. I feel it's paradise is what I feel. And I feel it brings you to life from a very black and white or drab or mundane or routine type energy. So I think there's been a lot of time and dedication towards yourself, feeding yourself, trying to understand self, trying to overcome some part of yourself that I feel has always left you feeling a little sad. Because I feel like you really wanted something more and it's just kind of weighed you down. So there's a heavy acceptance here of something that now you're able to work with. And I feel like the good news is there's a lifting of energy. Like I feel like whatever you felt would have been either complicated or too much or too intense for you to handle, I feel it isn't. And I feel like you come to some understanding of this, that I feel like you're now able to work with your own energy to create something here that I feel might have appeared to be a big mystery, but the fear was in the mystery itself. But now I feel like there's excitement in exploring something here. And so whatever was keeping you back or keeping you kind of tied to second guessing or doubt, I feel like it is no longer going to be a thing. That part of yourself is evolving and is changing here. And I do feel like you're coming into the greatest version of yourself here. Like you're having like a blow up here, okay? And I feel it's going to be a lot easier than you might have intended, because I feel like the groundwork or the preparation you did was very heavy and very intense and might have felt like dread here in some way. So the blessing is, I feel like this part of this chapter, this healing is done. I really feel it is done. And we're seeing the crow and the corvid again, which is the communication here. The crows talk about a rebirth. And they also talk about a death. And like I always talk about, the crows communicate in between worlds here. I feel as though a part of you is evolved, in a way that you can put behind you because of the healing that you've been able to do based on the experience you had in something here. And now I feel like you are prepared for this new journey and you've made space for this. And I do feel like the best gift here is that you're able to show up in a new energy, which I think gives you relief, vitality. It allows you to breathe a sigh of relief here. I feel like you feel very blessed and lucky to be in a situation here that I think provides you abundance all around. I feel it provides you with love, but I feel it also provides you with physical abundance here. We have wealth, so it could certainly be monetary gain. And I feel like the undependable energy or that you were feeling here was something within self that you weren't sure you could rely on or trust. And now I'm getting very heavy because of the feathers here. In communicating your authenticity or what it was you truly wanted, that you could trust that things would unfold, that you could lean into your intuition, a knowing here of what you felt inside was true, but maybe couldn't quite communicate or express. And so the feathers to me are talking about us getting a sign from our ancestors here that we're on the right path. And so I do feel like with the erotic and the spark of hustle, like I just feel there is like a new vitality here that's giving you life, that's like bringing you back to life. And you are living poetry is a part of you that I feel might have been very shut down here to experiencing sensuality, emotions, living in the present moment to experience your authentic self without feeling exposed, violated, threatened, controlled, held back, fear. So whatever your karma was to overcome this sort of thing, I feel like you've overcome this. Okay. Because I feel at some point you felt like this was destroying parts of either your relationships or parts of your life or parts of your future. It had a very profound, significant impact on your life here, because I feel like it was very challenging to proceed in areas of your life here with this. So it's very limiting and restricting, okay? So we're going to ask Spirit, clear and concise message for beautiful pile 1. What more do they need to know? This one here. In regards to this next major blessing, this big blessing that they can expect to see. Spirit, clear and concise message for pile 1 for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. Thank you so, so much. What am I missing, Spirit? What more do they need to know here? And one more. Okay. We have the Princess of Cups, Page of Cups. I'm reading them all in the upright. We have the Devil. We have 5 of Swords with defeat. We have the 6 of Swords with science. 6 of Swords with science. That's weird. Okay. We have 5 of Pentacles with worry. And we have the 8 of Wands with swiftness. Exactly. Perfect. Thank you, spirits. Okay. So, what are we seeing? I'm seeing heavy Capricorn energy here. Okay. We were in some energy here with the Devil. This is unhealthy energy, held back by something that appears to be, again, with the dragonfly, is sometimes it's like we can now see through the illusion that we created or that we thought we believed at one time, which is the Devil, because the Devil is always about an illusion. We think we're held back or we're stuck, but we're really not. And within us, we can make the change we want to see. You are being asked to take time out for self-care. I feel like there's some part of self here that was destructive, that was limiting you, that was holding you back, that was keeping you in a very negative place or dark place. 5 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. Okay, that's very difficult energy. This is self-sabotage, and this is like trying to work with others, but we keep either crapping the bed or self-sabotaging, and we just can't get it right. And so from a 5 of Swords, we're going to a 6 of Swords, which is leaving this baggage behind, leaving this Devil behind. Okay, because I feel like this would leave you feeling left out. This would leave you feeling... This is the energy, actually, when I was getting a download, and I don't think I mentioned it in the intro. It was like a left out in the cold, but it was like a light bulb going off in our mind that we have the ability to now carry the answers we need in order to get out of any sort of state. So this is worry specifically. I feel like your mind could have been very heavy here with worry and doubt. Okay, Page of Cups. This is all about opening the heart space, but this is also, you know, a novice type energy because pages are early learnings. So we might be quite novice here in experiencing what we're about to enter. And this could have been what was holding us back, was like our inexperience. We felt immature in some way, or we felt like a lack of direction here. You know, not quite knowing, like a fish out of water. And so I feel like there was a shell of guardedness here in some way, like we were guarding our emotions at one point. So I feel like by opening up, by allowing ourselves to open up and be authentic here, and communicate what we need to, because pages are all about communication. I feel like we're allowing abundance to come in. And I feel like with this 8 of Wands, this is quick energy. This is having a breakthrough. And normally the 8 of Wands, we see all the wands kind of going in one direction forward, like moving forward. This 8 of Wands is like a starburst. And what I'm feeling is like from ourself, we like have this like explosion. Like we're now exploding any sort of limitation. We're now shattering any sort of limitation that was shelling us up, that was holding us back. In all sort of areas, we're like expanding here. This is expansion. And the rainbow's obviously all about diversity and being able to see, you know, from all of these different sort of ranges that we weren't maybe seeing before because we were much in the devil, like limiting ourselves with how we were seeing ourselves, or even limiting the potential range of things that we could experience because of our thoughts, because of this devil energy. So instead of experiencing any sort of opportunity that came about, we might have felt we were only capable or able to experience one certain thing, but that's not true. So I feel like you're shattering this sort of understanding of self. Like your whole self is kind of opening up into this rebirth. So you're no longer feeling defeated, held back by devil, feeling, you know, very stuck, not allowing any sort of energy that feels new to you be a limitation or be a hesitation, or I just feel like there was maybe a shyness, or because I feel, this is interesting. Look, we have this card, and this card, all with the star. Like the swords are kind of coming to the middle. Even with this one. Wow. Okay. This one's a star. This one's a star. And these ones kind of have a center point. So I feel like the center point is you. Okay, so this reading, this blessing, this is all about you. And I feel like, I mean, beautiful cross here. The cross is all about where we carry a burden, where we have to suffer some sort of experience here in order to understand some sort of blessing here. It's like we're being, that's another part that I forgot to mention during the intro. It's like being handed the hand of God to pull us and lift us out of a situation that felt nearly impossible. Like there's no other way we would have thought we'd get out of it without having the helping hand of God to pull us through, because I feel it's been so challenging. And so I feel like it is about the self focus that is shifted in a different way, because I feel it was defeating. I feel the self focus was something that felt, it caused a lot of anxiety and worry and stress. And now with the stars talk all about hope. It's like we can now attain our wishes because we've overcome some sort of worry. Okay, stars is Aquarius energy coming through again that I was feeling. And I'm seeing all this geometry because we have the triangle, the square, the circle, the moon, and the oval, which is giving me that whole diversity or the different sort of shapes. I feel like you're now able to explore different aspects of yourself, like a lot of different aspects. It's not like you just cracked one area of yourself, therefore there's only one area that opens up. I feel like because one area of yourself opens up at minimal, I feel like it opens up all these areas within your life here to explore. And I feel like it allows you to engage completely differently here. The alchemist, balance, invention, and destruction, discovery, and augury. Like, I feel as though working with your environment now, you're able to do a lot more than you were ever able to do because of your ability to expand, okay, to really shatter, I feel like, a self-limiting belief. Now I'm going to get one card here just for the devil. Spirits, why is the devil here? The Aeon. This is the, not the world, sorry. This is the judgment. Judgment. We can now see. We now see, and this is the karma card, okay? Clear your karma. Whatever karma you are dealing with here, because I feel like you're at the you felt at the mercy of something. Whatever you're at the mercy of here, I feel like this is the point of the awakening, seeing the karma, making the decision now because we understand everything that has happened up until this point, and now we can make different decisions, okay, with the judgment. And so judgment is all about being honest with yourself. It's all about acknowledging parts of our ego, acknowledging things that have happened as experiences here, taking this all in and then making different choices for yourself. So I feel like you are at a very important step of now seeing through the devil, seeing through the parts that held you back, seeing through maybe all of the experiences you've had up until now in your life that was a result of your, I don't know, maybe your inexperience, or maybe your limiting belief, or maybe your understanding of being held back by some devil. But now we're seeing it, and now we're transcending past that, and we're awakening. We're like opening up from this, okay? This is like an awakening. Like I said, it's tying back into that collective message I had at the beginning of this reading, which is we're closing a door. We're having a visit from our higher self. We're finally welcoming ourselves, and it's saying it's time. We're now able to move on here. And the fact that the color blue's tying in here too, it's like authenticity. We can now speak our truth because we see it. We're no longer in a held back energy because we're closed off or feeling stuck by some limiting energy that karmically was here. Okay, so this is what I see. Pile number 1. This is quite the reading. I love you guys very, very much. I hope this resonated for you. Let me know in the comments who I'm reading for, because I'd love to know. And I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 2. You guys picked the labradorite carved peacock. I love labradorite. It's one of my favorite crystals with the shimmer iridescence. Peacock could certainly mean pride, which could represent ego, but the peacock tail has all these eyes, and in certain cultures, the eyes could represent protection, being protected in some way. So let's see how this comes into play. So if you have not listened to the collective reading at the beginning of this reading, I would suggest you go listen to that to see if anything resonates. It did tie into pile 1 quite beautifully here. The fact we had the color blue, and we certainly have a lot of blues here. Blues are about, well, blue represents the throat chakra, but for me, it was really coming through as an authenticity, like being able to communicate a truth or being able to live in a truth. Walk and talk and see a truth here. So I will put the timestamps down below. You guys can skip to the reading, okay? Although I do ask that you use your intuition. What you will see, feel, or hear throughout this reading to confirm that this reading is indeed for you. And we will do the layout here, and this helps to tune into the intuition. So for those of you guys needing to tune in, then you are more than welcome to stay. And I cannot guarantee that messages won't come through here that might need to be a part of the reading here, okay? So let's get started. So we have 24, authentic self-expression. Oh my goodness. That's exactly what I was feeling. Okay, be true to who you are, and your life will change in the most amazing ways. Yes, authenticity is really what I was feeling from the blue. I do not look at these at all, okay? I just shuffle, and I haven't seen any of them. None of them flipped over. So 24, number 6. 6 is the lovers in the tarot, you know, and it's not necessarily all about love, because what the lovers could represent here is choosing our most authentic path, okay? Choosing the person, choosing the career, choosing the thing that that represents the most authentic version of us, like choosing our calling, okay? What we're kind of destined or fated to choose. We have judgment, number 13. You are being asked to let go of all judgments and forgive those who judge you. 13 could be the death card in the tarot. My dog will bark for a bit here. Hopefully she doesn't get too barky. We have ink pot, problems to be resolved. We had a lot of the ink pot and the feather pen coming through for pile 1. If you were resonating with pile 1, could be interconnected. What am I listening for? With the great horned owl and here. That is also about throat chakra, because the throat chakra is about communication, but also how well we're listening. That came through in the collective messaging at the beginning. Are we making ourselves available to actually be present to hear what's going on around us? Okay, owl's all about wisdom, because we have the understanding, the experience, the knowledge in order to utilize what we've learned here, despite maybe having fear, because we see the moon, which the moon is all about fear. It's all about the subconscious. It is feminine energy. I'm going to go check on the dog. I'll be right back. She's going to be barking at the cat for a while, so you might hear more barking. So, the sign of Cancer. Okay, so Cancer is more moon energy. Your feelings, attitudes about the past, attitudes from the past about, and use your intuition. So the moon's certainly about intuition, subconscious. Cancer is certainly feelings. We see the 2 crabs here. I'm feeling a tie to 1 in some way, because there we had a lot of shell energy, which was protecting our emotions, maybe protecting our authenticity, protecting ourselves from being vulnerable in some way. We have make a mission statement for your soul with 58. So 13 coming through again. 13 is the transformation, because it is the death card in the tarot. 13 is about putting away the things that are not working in order to be reborn. So coming through with that collective energy I was feeling, which is that renewal, being reborn here. It's now time, okay? Putting an end to something here, closing a door. The snakes coming through as shedding what doesn't serve us. And I'm feeling mountain energy, which is obstacles and very solid, fixed ways about maybe how we live our life. And then I'm seeing a direction, and I feel like the direction you were trying to go in was obstructed, okay? And the obstruction here was this obstacle, and it felt very heavy and fixed, and I feel as though there, on the other side of this, there was your happiness. Okay, so I'm getting Leo energy coming through. Okay. We have fearless expression, 55, or the number 10. 10 is all about endings in order to make way for new beginnings. Fearless expression, tying back into authenticity, being able to communicate the truth here without any fear. I'm feeling heavy water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Libra energy coming through. Mostly heavy Cancer. Okay. We have, it is safe for you to shine. Look at that. It is safe to express your authenticity and do not fear. Stars are Aquarius energy. Stars are all about our wishes, our happiness. I trust in my gifts, more stars, more about self. I trust in my gifts, my ability to be authentic, my self-expression, me making a statement mission here for my own soul, my feelings, expression. Okay, so gifts. I trust my gifts here with the star. Wishes coming true. Ink pot, problems to be resolved. Okay, we have wealthy man with 13. We saw 3 13s coming out now. Okay, we saw 13 with judgment, 58, which reduces to 13, and then 13. Wealthy man. And we see the cogs here, which I was getting the bolts being cogs in pile 1. I do feel a very strong tie to 1. I know you probably don't have all the time in the world, but I do feel like there's messages in pile 1. If you're resonating, that might resonate for you. Okay, and I believe we saw diamond and also material wealth there, if I'm not mistaken. So we see wealthy man. This is all about material wealth. I'm feeling an energy here of, again, some sort of cover up in some way, like a shell of some way here. Okay, let's see. We have Yua with guidance. And we see all the skulls. Skulls for me represents the death card, which is the number 13. It's transformation. It's putting an end to the old. And look, this sort of truth pointing down. So I need to embrace authenticity, self-expression, be honest. We see the whip. The whip in the Lenormand is all about challenges. We might feel oppressed. We might be going through a very difficult situation here where we feel an obstacle or beat by our situation. And I'm getting a Hierophant from her hat here. So Hierophant is about a greater understanding of what we value. It's our lifestyle. It's what we commit ourselves to. I'm being tied to the pink, which is going back to pile 1, that rose quartz. Seeing through an illusion with the rose quartz here. I feel a very strong pull to 1. Okay, so Yua, guidance, walking on water, being able to control our emotions or still move past our emotions in order to get to where we want to go. Not allow it to hold us back. Okay, Archangel Michael, number 9. And because this deck is fairly new to me, I do generally get called to read the cards with Archangel Michael. I'm going to read this number 9 card and see what we see. 9 is also representing an ending. Okay, and 9 could also represent the Hermit in the Tarot, which is all about self-discovery, introspection. Okay, understanding what it is that our feelings are here and getting very familiar with it so we can become very authentic. And Hermit represents a Virgo. So you could be resonating with any one of those. We're looking at Archangel Michael. It says, the Archangel Michael is a channel of divine power. He is seen here sharing his energy with 2 small children. I just got St. Anthony from this Archangel Michael. And it's so funny how energy is so intertwined. I've put in my calendar, I guess, as a reminder every morning, not every morning, sorry, every 3 days, I think it is. I put in my calendar to wake up and there's a prayer for St. Anthony in order to have St. Anthony help in finding something. And so it could be anything at all that I'm needing help to find. And so sometimes it is help my loved one find whatever it is that I feel they're needing to find, or allow me to find the confidence, allow me to find what my calling is, allow me to find what it is I'm needing to know in this moment. And I'm feeling like there's a big need here to connect with some sort of authenticity, okay? to connect with this, connect with the intuition, connect with what it is here, despite the fears and obstacles coming in the way, to trust your gift. So we see he is seen here sharing his energy with two small children, bringing them great strength and support. He's about to pick up the boy, and he can help you lift your energy too. When you receive this card, know that your energy reflects Michael's amazing strength. This can be a cycle of increasing power for you, one where you feel your courage growing and you know what action to take next. Trust your convictions, your power, and your resourcefulness. Michael uprights heralds a time of greater courage, force, initiative, and action. So don't delay. He's right there with you. So tap into the dynamo within you and take the action that compels you. With Michael and your own power, you can move mountains and lift yourself to new heights. Oh my goodness. Mountain. Obstruction in the way of the sun here, of getting enlightened, of the happiness, of the path. There's a path here. You see the path. Intuitively, you see the path. Could be a lot of fear. Okay, so we're looking at a blessing here. So we're seeing where this is going. We still have quite a bit of cards here to lay out. Okay, thank you, Spirit, for this reading. I'm very blessed. Very, very blessed. Okay, so we have 10. The light of the world. Hermit energy. I was feeling from number 9. Introspection. He has the lantern, so he knows, because he's done the reflecting inside himself to know what makes him happy. He's come into tune with his emotions. He has clarity in regards to what he needs to do, because that's the introspection. We have a guy here and a cat. So the window is open. Cats are fairly spiritual animals here. I'm getting very heavy intuition from this cat. And I'm also getting a wildness from this cat. So I feel like there is something within you that wants to kind of go wild in some way here. That's been very restricted and held back. And I feel like there's a part of yourself here that has been, okay? Because again, we're looking at a blessing, so I don't know how this is going to shift for you, but I feel like there's a part of yourself here that has been a big reason why this part of you has not gone wild, or has not yet been able to be set free, or has not yet been able to pursue something that is abundant. This side has all the green foliage, which I feel is all about abundance and growth. And ascension I'm feeling here, because the vine grows upwards. Okay, I'm getting a lot of downloads here with your reading. Okay, we have the hair. Okay, so the hair could be luck, but I don't always read luck with the hair so much as I get always the fable of the tortoise and the hare. Which is about timing and how we kind of represent ourselves in that story. You know, are we slow and steady wins the race? Are we someone who's overconfident and lets things pass? I don't feel a very strong level of confidence here. But I feel like there's a letting things pass, and I feel like time has gone by. And I'm also feeling a very skittish energy, because the bunny gets scared very quickly, or the hare. And it starts to go off in a different direction as soon as it gets spooked. So I might do the opposite of what it kind of was intending to do here once it gets spooked. Okay, we have the mother energy. I don't take the words too literal with these cards, because it's more about energy. And then we have naked. Naked mother, interesting. So naked, vulnerability, being exposed. When we allow our fears to be out there because we take a step forward, we're vulnerable, we're naked. We feel very, very, very vulnerable and out there. Mother's all about birthing things. Mother is abundance energy. Mother is divine feminine energy, which is moon energy. Source energy to give birth is mother, because when we create something, it has to come from mother. But it doesn't come from the same source as sun, which is an emperor creating. It's more of a birthing of something from within. We have the fireplace. Look at that cozy energy here. See the bunny, or it looks like a shadow of a bunny here, and I don't know, it kind of looks a little like a tortoise, but I don't think that's a tortoise. I'm not sure what animal that is. See two animals, definitely a hare or a bunny, and then we see the fireplace. This looks like a family room. We see a carpet, cozy. Fire is all about being inspired. Fire is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It is a passion. And we have the farmer who is sowing his, I guess, sowing the seeds here. So it looks like all the field is plowed, and the farmer is manually throwing the seeds into the, what is that called? The plowed fields, I guess. Trying to harvest something here. Okay, we have against nature with the big black square. Look at this big black square. This big black square is just black. This big black square has a fire in it. Against nature. That is not allowing things to go with the flow. We could be very controlled by fear in some way here, okay? We have the desert. And this is 37. Or the number 10 coming through again. 10 is all about endings to make way for beginning. The desert is a very extreme, harsh condition here. And in this case, it feels like someone is being drowned alive by their environment. And then we see the moon again, where that's the feminine energy. It could be fears, subconscious energies. Desert is also a lack of water, which is, water represents emotions. So we could be very, very much, like I said, in an energy here with that shell of guarding an emotion here, guarding the self-expression, being seen authentically. We have freedom, and we have another naked person here, or woman on a bird. So the naked coming through, which is the vulnerability, being exposed. The bird is communicating, and it could speak about speaking our authentic self here, okay, in order to free ourselves with the freedom, feeling liberated by speaking something truthful. We have the ship, all about movements, travel. It could be a journey, a distance we have to go through. And look at that. I see the whale. If you guys were tied to 3, I haven't even recorded 3 yet, but I'm feeling 3 could certainly be tied to you as well if you're tied to 3. I know you don't have time for all these readings. I don't know what Spirit's doing to me. I feel a tie to 3 though. Okay, with this whale. The ship could be all about self-journey, exploration, but it's certainly about movement. It could be about distance, trips. We have the Queen, mother energy. The Queen does the best thing for the people that she is looking after here. She is divine feminine energy I'm feeling, okay? So the queen, determination, sacrifice. We see the sword of truth here with the crown, which is getting empowered. Determination and sacrifice. Okay. We have a lot of what are they called? Tea leaf cards, which I'll lay out here. Don't take the words literal, okay? We have the table, hard work ahead. We have the month of May here, and look at that. It looks to me like cherry blossoms on this tree. And then we have a flowing river. The month of May is springtime. Basket with recognition and reward for merit. And we see two tables because this basket is on a table. This table is empty. This table has abundance because it has all the fruits, the bread, all the abundance on it. Okay, hard work ahead, recognition, reward for merit. And we have the Ram, Aries energy, Emperor energy, a stubborn, aggressive person. Okay, I know this took fucking forever. I'm sorry. I'm so swearing. Pile number 2. I'm going to sit with this energy. Give me a bit. You can definitely skip to the reading because I think I won't speak again until I'm ready to channel what this is. So you can definitely skip ahead, okay? Or you can sit here in the silence with me if you enjoy, because I do enjoy that. All right, give me a minute. Pile 2. This is almost identical to the message I delivered in pile 1. Almost identical. I feel it's a little bit, it's a different energy though, you know. I don't know, it could be a different aspect here, a different message. I don't know what's all going to come through until I deliver it, but man, like I feel as though you really felt here there's something you really wanted and you felt very held back from it. And I do feel it was coming from the inside because it was requiring you to do something here that I might have felt very much not natural for you for whatever reason, you know. And it felt really frustrating here because I feel like it's something here that you want to overcome. Like you just want to overcome this. And so this big blessing I feel is what Spirit is showing here is you finally have movement here that you're making, not only in this part of yourself that I feel has been kind of a thorn in your side, being able to speak confidently in some authentic way of what you truly feel and allowing yourself to be vulnerable and exposed in areas where maybe it's been very challenging, specifically because I feel like there might be a situation here that you're wanting to work with. But I feel like your blessing is this situation here that I feel is bringing you abundance, because I feel like you are now able to have some sort of control or reign over this part of yourself. And because you've been able to have some control and reign over this part of yourself, I feel like you are creating some new world here for yourself that you're able to move towards, that I think is absolutely beautiful. And I think it's bringing in a bunch of abundance to part of your life that I feel has been very, 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 I can't even express, very, very barren, lonely, dry, sad, lonely. I don't know. All the words are coming through here. Desert, an empty table, a field of nothingness, a road that goes forever into a mountain that we can't quite get through. So I feel like whatever you are experiencing here was really hard on you, you know, and I feel like there was a need for you to work with yourself in a way that was able to overcome this thing, because I feel like a lot of it is about the fears from within, and really sitting with ourselves and really listening and really starting to reflect on our experiences and use what we've experienced in order to be logical, so we can make some decisions that aren't based in fear but are based in truths, without judgment, without thinking we're going to be judged, and then making action. And I think, like, maybe up until now, maybe there's been opportunity for you and you did the opposite, or you didn't explore, or you just allowed it to pass you by, or you didn't have confidence, I feel here. And I feel like you've been persistent. I feel like you've been dedicated. I feel like you've been on a mission here, because I feel like whatever this thing that's been driving you like a fire is kind of your motivator. And I feel like it's perfect because of this motivator. I feel like you connect to this thing. And it's been very, very hard for you. But I feel you overcome this, okay? And you overcome this by speaking a truth, being honest, being exposed in whatever way, or vulnerable in whatever way it might have been challenging in the past. This could have been something that has been ongoing since last May. May could be significant, could be a birthday, could be an anniversary. But it can also be when this thing is completely going to be birthed here in May. Okay, if you're watching when I'm recording, and if you're not, then I don't know how far you are away from May, but May could certainly be when this is coming into fruition, which is in about 3 months or so here. Okay, so 2.5 months here. I feel you're going to be able to sit in an energy that I don't think you've been able to sit in before of yourself, which is a confident energy that's able to be exposed in a way that doesn't feel so vulnerable and afraid, because I feel like the environment is one that provides you with the support and abundance you need. And so I feel like you make that, I don't know, I was going to say executive decision in some way, but I feel like you just take control of your set of circumstances here, because I feel like it was really burying you in an energy that you've experienced way too much of, that I don't think you want to keep experiencing. So I feel like you had to take control, and I feel like you've been very invested in whatever this thing is for quite some time. I feel like you are definitely heavily protected here and guided by your angels and your spirits team. Now I'm getting a message here, because what am I listening for? And the hair has big ears. I feel like you're given a sign. Like you hear a sign, or you're in tune with a sign of what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it. And I feel it gives you confidence. Okay, now we're tying back to the collective message. Interesting. Visit from the higher self. I'm feeling very strongly here. You have a visit from either your higher self, someone else's higher self, or it definitely feels is very spiritual. And it is a message that comes to you very clear, that is kind of like it seals the deal. It goes from red lights to green lights. Okay, I know that's not green, but I feel like it goes from whatever was stuck to then allowing you to flow. it's like the nail in the coffin that seals the deal, that allows you to see something here, that allows you to say, okay, I'm safe to move forward. Because I feel like there might always be a hesitation, something that kind of has you stuck here in some way. But I feel like whatever this message it comes through as something that is very clear to you, that it's time to make that decision, okay? And so I do feel it almost feels a little bit like a sacrifice here, because I feel like you put something on the line, or you feel you do in some way. Yeah, guidance. You're definitely getting guided towards doing this. But it feels like maybe you feel like you're putting something kind of on the line. Again, it could be just feeling vulnerable, putting your fears kind of out there. But I feel like because you take this chance in some way, I think you're rewarded with abundance, that you fill your table with complete abundance here. Whatever part of your world here was feeling dry or empty is now feeling completely full and abundant. And wherever you felt, like you were drowning in some way, you feel inspired and invigorated. And I feel like this brings you material abundance. And I do feel there is a lot of wealth coming here to you, whatever wealth means to you. But I feel like it is really tied to emotions. And I feel like with the cogs here, it's all about how well we work with others or work with situations. Like we're able to flow and work. That's what this against nature, like we're able to flow. We're not causing friction. And look how this is kind of in a bubble glass sort of thing. It's almost like he's, I don't know, like, when we have something we want to preserve in some way. I feel like you're very proud of this accomplishment here. And I feel what I'm getting from here is the usual self that you're in, okay? The usual self is not the usual self in order to accomplish this. So whatever hat you had to wear, whatever suit you had to wear, whatever being you had to encompass or be or were living in, I feel like you make a compromise and a shift here, okay? And I feel like he's taking off his hat, and it's kind of like an appreciation of something here. I feel like there is some sort of sacrifice or some sort of action you take here. And now I think instead of losing out, I think you win. But you also free yourself from whatever this thing is. Okay, so let's pull some tarot and see. Final messages here. Am I missing anything, Spirit? For pile number 2. What is pile number 2 needing to know in regards to this major blessing right here, right now? What is this significant major blessing? I dropped a card. Let me grab that. All right. So, spirits, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good for pile 2. What am I missing? What is this next major blessing for pile 2? Please protect me as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. All right, I am reading them all in the upright. We have the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. We're seeing the Ram, stubborn or aggressive person. This could certainly be the situation you were dealing with. It felt like a very fixed, solid thing here, okay? With the Ram, we're seeing the Ram here. Although Ram is Aries, but this is more earth energy. I feel there was a very stuck energy. Ram here, well, this looks like a goat, which is Capricorn energy, but you could be resonating with either or. Queen of Pentacles is someone who is grounded, practical. We have art. So this is the Temperance. Temperance is about balance. It's the alchemy card. It's being able to work with certain aspects of ourselves in order to create something. Turning lead into gold. And it is about patience, timing, success, and creating something here with this art. So we were feeling you birthing something here with Mother. We have adjustments. And this is the Justice card. Justice is Libra, balance coming through twice. Doing the best thing here for everyone involved with justice, bringing justice to ourselves. Embracing some sort of truth in order to bring in balance. And I feel like this truth has been something that has been in reverse for some time. So maybe we have not been walking our truth or talking our truth. We have not been acknowledging the truth or supporting the truth because it's in reverse. We have the Ace of Wands. That's that fireplace. Inspiration, the spark, the fire that gets us going, because we felt very desert. Okay, so Ace of Wands, inspired action, new beginning, passion, exploration, ideas. We have the Lovers. This is the choice. Okay, we saw 24 was number 6 when we laid out the cards here, which I was talking about having the choice to choose. Choose the path that we're destined for. The person, the job, the thing we're destined for. The Lovers. We make that choice with the Lovers. And we align with the thing that aligns with our value, which is the person that aligns with our value, which is the career that aligns best with our value, okay? Because the Lovers is all about making that choice. Gemini energy coming through. And then we have the 5 of Wands, and it says strife. A lot of conflict. So this is, for me, a lot of times it's about self-conflict when we see 5 of Wands, okay? Specifically, I don't see people, and I see all these wands kind of centering here in the center, which very much ties back to 1. Pile 1, I feel very strong connection. But I feel like there was inner conflict. A lot of struggle here in overcoming this. A lot of strife in overcoming whatever this thing is, you know, and I feel like there was so much passion to get past this, a lot of fight in you to get past this, but I feel you're very conflicted. So I do feel like your big blessing here is whatever conflict you had, internal conflict, whatever was in balance, whatever you weren't able to make happen, because of something within self, I feel like you get to a position here of self-reassurance. The Queen of Pentacles is very confident, okay? Because she has everything it takes to make things happen. She is grounded. She is self-sufficient. And I feel like there is a desire and a passion here that ignites you to get going down this path. That I feel like at whatever point felt like there was an obstacle, I feel like it is now removed because I feel like you feel free. I am going to pull one more card here, spirits, to close out this reading. What does pile 2 need to know in regard to this big blessing? One final card here. Any questions they might have, please come through in this final card for this final message for pile 2. What is this next big blessing for pile 2? The Devil. So wherever you were held back, this came out in pile 1. It felt very oppressive. Devil energy, or feel very, very chained. We feel held back. We feel like it's something unhealthy, you know, either about us or a situation. And so we're restricted, but the devil is an illusion, because we can, once we understand the devil's position, we could break free from this devil. Okay, devil is unhealthy ways of thinking. It could be addictions, obsessions, unhealthy patterns, way of life that has us very, 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 very stuck. Capricorn energy coming through again. So what are you doing? Your blessing, and I feel this blessing is a freedom of the devil. It's a freedom to create something where you felt stuck, where you felt the devil was getting in the way, where you felt like you couldn't choose, where you felt conflicted inside, to be able to restore balance to yourself and bring justice to a situation. Because the honesty here, or the authenticity, was very difficult to come out to create something or to make something happen. Very restricted, very limited, okay? And I feel like you are breaking from this. You are breaking the illusion of this devil. You now see that you're safe to be yourself, however vulnerable it may be here with this naked card, okay? Because I feel like this experience that you had here has been a long time planting, that you've invested enough time here and energy and effort into reflecting within yourself as to what exactly you needed to do. But I feel like you're also being very guided here, which I was feeling from the Archangel Michael and this guidance through prayer, through just being able to really stick through it here, okay? So I feel you see it with this judgment. It's an awakening, it's a renewal, it's a rebirth. And once you see through this illusion of devil, once you see through that there is nothing holding you back here, once you're allowed to let yourself kind of flow with this against nature, I feel like you overcome this. And you no longer feel like a drowning sort of energy here in some sort of no man's land, okay? Now, this could certainly be, like I said, around May, where everything starts to sort of flourish here for you. But it could be something you've been cultivating since May. Whatever resonates here for you, okay? But I feel like you've been very persistent, dedicated, committed to this. I mean, the devil is also representing Saturn energy, okay? And Saturn is a very committed, dedicated energy. The ram is something that is very stubborn, very persistent. I feel like there's a persistence here within you, okay? So Gemini's communication, the blue, like we were saying, was authentic communication. Coming through all throughout here was a need to be authentic in expression, how we're feeling, what we're thinking, walking, talking, living our truth, however it might be with another person or in a career, or how we're living our life, specifically because we saw Hierophant energy here. So it could be how we're living our life, how we're engaging our life, what we commit to or values. Okay, and I feel like this is going to bring a lot of abundance to you, like a lot of abundance. And I feel like it's been empty, it's been dry, it's been something you've been trying to cultivate here for quite some time and felt very stripped of it. Okay, so this is what I see, pile number 2. I hope this resonated for you. And if you were called to one, I do suggest you go take a look at one. I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 3. I'm so blessed to be here doing a reading today. You guys picked the whale card. Beautiful iridescence in this card. The whale is jumping out of the water here, and water does represent emotions, could represent our self-expression, and whale is always larger than life. Now, I do see a lot of blues, which ties into that collective message that I was delivering in regards to communicating a truth, because blue is all about our throat chakra. So we could be needing to have some sort of self-expression. It's also about how well we are able to listen to our environment around us as well. Okay, so I feel like something's coming out here with this whale, like something larger than life. So we're looking at your next big blessing. Okay, now I will put the timestamps in the description box below, so you can go directly to your reading. Okay, I do ask, though, that you use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether this is your reading or not. And during the layout, sometimes messages do come through for pile 2. That was what was happening. So you could certainly miss a lot of messages if we skip ahead, but that's certainly up to you if you want to go directly to your reading. I will be looking at your next big blessing here. So let's go through these cards. There's a whole crap load. All right, so 10, trust and forgiveness. It is time for you to let down your guard and learn to trust again. Oh my goodness. 10 is a card about ending so we can make way for new beginnings. But the fact that we have here learning to forgive and trust, like I feel like that's that, you know, rather than speaking authentically, it's like how well we're receptive, how well we can take in information in order to have the compassion. You know, I know dolphins are all about compassion, and love. And so I feel like whales would kind of represent the same thing. It's like being compassionate and loving here with the trust and forgiveness, okay? But I don't know, like maybe we have a reason not to trust here. So let's see. Am I ready to be seen? With the bald eagle and soar. Wow. Yes, like coming out. You know, this whale is coming out. It's ascending. The eagle ascends here with soar. Eagles are all about divinity and vision. And sometimes we have to rise above our situation to see clearly here. But am I ready to be seen? It's more about you being seen for who you are here. Again, authenticity with the blue chakra. It's about self-expression and being seen for who you actually are. Lots of love coming through with the heart and the intuitive eye. Okay, the sign of Capricorn. Dedication to achieve, focusing on, and results from the rules imposed by. Okay, Capricorn, very dedicated energy here. You could be resonating with Capricorn heavy placements in your chart or the energy around you. You could have been very focused or dedicated on accomplishing something here. Capricorn's ruled by the planet of Saturn, which also rules Aquarius. But Saturn is putting in the dedication and sacrificing now so we can attain for the future in some way. Okay. We have lead your metamorphosis with 53 or the number 8. Lead your metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is about the transformation with the butterfly. That's the rebirth, going back to that collective message I left in the intro here, because it was all about the snakes being reborn. When we go through the metamorphosis, we're now reborn as a complete changed energy here. Butterfly is also about freedom, which I do get from a bald eagle representing liberty and freedom. Something is setting you free, pile 3. Okay, so prosperities. Sisters are happiness and joy. 36 or the number 9. 9 is also about endings. Same mauve color here. I'm getting 3 of Pentacles, which is working with others, creating something with others, being able to build something, collaborating, creation. Okay, we have believing is seeing. Okay, this is tying me back to trust and forgiveness. Maybe we weren't seeing something, so we weren't believing it because we needed to see it. Because believing is seeing, but maybe we weren't seeing with this eagle here. I'm getting star energy, which is Aquarius energy coming through again. We were getting that with the ruling planet of Saturn. Okay. We have where there's a will, there's a way. Oh my goodness. Lots of green grass. Green grass always gives me earth energy. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn coming through again. Poppies. We experience something here. Poppies for me is an experience of the past, maybe that we're needing to, I don't know, like find some sort of way to move forward or release in some way to move, to be present, to be able to create something for our future, but we might be holding on to a past or unable to forgive something about the past. I'm getting that with the poppies, and then we see daisies, and I'm not quite sure what the daisies are representing here to me, aside from the white being purity, and I'm getting future energy from the daisy. Friendship. And then we have this gold path, which is like the yellow brick road, like in the Wizard of Oz. It's like the path to leading you to the future. Yeah, like going from the past to the future, but there needs to be something here that's happening, because we could be in the past here with the poppies, but I feel like you're being pushed to the future here on some path. Yeah, stars are all about our hopes for the future, desire for the future, but it's a longer term vision of something. Okay, we have occupation, 34, or the number 7. 7 is the Chariot, about movement, being successful. It looks like she's sewing something. So I'm getting reconciliation, repair, mending something that might have been broken with forgiveness and trust, something of the past. Now, because it's occupation, it could certainly be about work. I'm getting the white again, which is purity, which I was getting from the daisies. Peace, purity. Okay. Mending. Okay, so we have 30 here with adjudication. I'm feeling heavy Libra energy. Could be something official, like a contract. It could be a marriage, a legal thing here. The courthouse with adjudication. Justice, balance. Okay, let me see if I am in frame here. Okay, that's where we'll leave it. We have Alabasticipo with union. White again coming through as purity. And union is coming together. We see two people here coming together, celebrating in the spotlight. And we see the 3 lights. I'm pulled back to this 3. Creating something here. And we have 5 lights, but these 3 are very bright. So could it be, because 5s are challenging, out of a very challenging situation here, we're now having to create something, work together, forgive in some way, or come from the past in order to come together. Let's see. We have the Oracle of Delphi, number 1. I'm getting a very it's like, I will read this, but for me, what I'm getting, it's like an idea or an idolized sort of understanding of something here that we're putting up on a pedestal of sorts to create an understanding here. But we might, like an understanding here in order for us to get fueled by something here that we have an understanding of. Like something that might seem very beautiful or very much an ideal thing here. Let's see. I am going to read this. Oracles of Delphi, card number 1. The Oracle of Delphi. It says, the Pythia, or the priestess of Delphi, sits upon a high 3-legged seat. Steam gently rises from the small fissure in the ground nearby. A robed priest prepares to write upon an open scroll, while the Pythia physically receives the perceptions from Apollo. It is the priest who interprets her pronouncements. In this, we see the 2 important keys in psychic experience: perception and interpretation. When you receive this card, you're in a time of great insight and psychic power. Even if you don't recognize it yet, it lies very close to your consciousness because you have used this gift in so many past lives. You may get images or feelings without knowing how to interpret them. Take notes as you practice both your psychic perceptions and their interpretations. Just as they gave the Oracle of Delphi a profound awareness, your psychic perceptions and their interpretations give you a powerful insight and an akashic vision of the world. Vision coming through again with this. Okay. I'm suddenly getting very, very dizzy. So intuition coming through very strong here, but I feel like it's all about perception. I'm still feeling like we might have been seeing something in some way in the past that might have impacted something in regards to how something's unfolding. So we have the snail. And this certainly seems to me like a very slow energy with the snail, and it may be something very cyclical. We have the shell, and shells could be protection and closing something out. Slow moving energy. We have boredom. Don't put too much weight into the words so much because we'll be picking up energy. And we have these, they look like mounted police in a parade of sorts. It looks like a parade, some sort of march, like a parade. They're waving a flag here. Okay, we'll put that with the boredom. And then we have letting go. And the letting go is with the crossroads. And we have two figures here in blue robes. The blue coming through yet again with that collective message I was giving. The blue really coming through as such a strong color, because it's all about expressing ourselves, our authenticity. And because we're at a crossroads, it's like a decision. Do we do this or do we do that? Do we go this way or that way? Do we part ways, or do we, what do we do here with the letting go? Okay, we have Ash 33, or the number 6. 6 could be the lovers in the tarot, which is Gemini, and 6 is about a balance, give and take. It is a balanced number. 6th house is about the service we give, you know, our usefulness, our work habits. Work coming through with the 3 of Pentacles, or the service we give, again, to create. Ash is, again, the past coming through of something that didn't work out. Like it can never be the same. It's kind of burnt to a crisp, I feel here. Disillusion. Yeah, it's like something's dissolved. 65, number 11. Disillusion, dissolve is what I'm hearing. Okay, so we have the well, family wishes come true. The peacock, beware of great pride. You guys, you have to go see number 2, because we had the peacock for pile 2, and it is very, very synchronistic here, okay? If you were tied to it. Peacock, beware of great pride. Peacock is about ego. And like I was saying in pile 2, the eyes could be all about protection as well with the peacock here, okay? And we have the empty room. 62, or the number 8. 8 is auspicious number, because we talk about 8 being a lucky number, but because it is the infinity sign, but it's also having to face our courage, the strength to know when to move forward and when to be held back. Empty room, creating something out of nothing, I feel here. Maybe being felt like we're left with nothing. We have sovereignty. This is the freedom, self-freedom and sovereignty. Okay. Am I in frame? Yes. We have disillusion. You guys, what are the chances of disillusion twice? Shattering, either of self or an understanding here. There's a shattering here. And it could be of a perception that we had something on a pedestal, I feel here still. Okay, so let's keep going. We have the mountain with the Lenormand card. Mountain's all about obstacles. Very fixed energy with the mountain. We have the runaway. Secrets, running from problems. And this cage is open. Runaway. The key. Cage. I don't know that I like this here. So what I will do is I will scoot that up there. I will put that there. And let's take a look at your tea leaf cards. Dog, far away. A distant friend is thinking of you. Rat, someone working against you behind your back. Oopsie. We have dark woman. Dealings or relationship with a dark, dealings or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair. And then we have the dog, close up. Pleasure with a close friend. Look at that, dog far away and dog close up. What are the chances? Pleasure with a close friend, a distant friend is thinking of you, and then dark woman. Okay. Oh boy, Spirit really likes to. Let's tip them in a way that we can still see what is going on with all of this. Okay. Where do we put it, Spirit? Here. I hope you can see. Can you see? Okay, good. Okay. Oh my goodness. Pile number 3. That's been long. Let me sit with this, okay? And then get into your reading. Give me a minute. You can skip to the timeline there to your reading. Pile 3, I feel like there is a situation in the past here, okay? And if you weren't here for the layout, I don't want to get into all of it, but there's a lot of things here that are giving me past energy of something that was very disappointing. And it feels like it could never be the same. Because I feel your energy is completely shifted. And I feel like it's something that maybe you let in very close, and it could be a person or a friend, and then now all of a sudden it is something that seems very distant. And it's probably very distant because of either you no longer trust it or just there's been a rift here. And it's something that you idolized, or you saw something that was in some sort of ideal way, but I feel like instead of it producing or doing what you felt it should do or could do, it did not do. I do feel there's like a karmic or at least a contractual experience here with this situation that you had to kind of live out. And I feel like you are now in an energy that's transcending any of the pain that you've experienced, for one, because I feel like it was holding you back or feeling very stuck in some way. But I feel like you're ascending and rising above this experience in a way to really get a good look at what's going on here. And I feel like you're shattering any sort of misconception, any sort of understanding you might have had that led you, I don't know, like in a direction here that I felt was like an obstacle in some way. And so this friend or this person, I feel like maybe you see them as someone who is untrustworthy or an ego or has done something here from their shadow self. So you might have, I feel like with this letting go, this ashen, this disillusion, like I just feel like things aren't the same, or you've just wrote this off. But I'm not sold here on this being something here that is completely as you perceived it to be. I think there is more here, but I feel like the blessing, because we're talking about the blessing, is the fact that now you can rise above a situation in which I feel it could have just really had you felt kind of stuck in some way, or like sometimes when we're in karmic situations, it just feels like there's no way out. But I feel like there's a mending here. A mending of a partnership, a coming together with a union, a fixing what was broken, something that I feel you thought was completely burnt to a crisp, like no way. like dissolved. Yeah, like empty room. There was nothing here. And so this could have been something that was a problem or a situation that just seemed to be taking up a lot of your energy and your time, and it could have kept you experiencing circles. But I feel like there's something here that's needing to be created with this person, who could certainly be your sister, your friend, your lover, your partner, your whatever this is here. I feel like there was an experience here that you were needing to go through that was transcending parts of your own shadow. I feel like there's an empowered energy here of yourself now to be able to navigate independently, where maybe there was a codependence type situation here where you now are thinking the best thing for self. But I feel like in this energy, there is a mending or a coming together. But I feel like you might not necessarily trust this other energy, because I feel like it did keep you stuck. And for a long time, maybe it was stuck or cyclical, and then it just kind of felt like it just was nothing to work with here. It kind of just burnt to the ground. And I feel like there's a lot of disinterest here. So I feel with this trust and forgiveness, there's a need to rise above what's happened, because I feel like the gold path here is leading you from a past situation to something pure that I feel is leading you to create something beautiful here. But I feel like there's a need for whatever the situation is to earn your trust so you can see. Because I feel like there was a lot of hope and vision about something here that maybe, like I said, you perceived something kind of on a pedestal, or you wanted to believe something that wasn't necessarily the case in some way. And I feel like your idea of this got shattered. And maybe a friendship got dissolved. And so now, instead of, I guess, riding the energy that you're in, because I feel like it's a very empowered energy, and it should be, because I feel like it's taken a lot of time here and a lot of dedication and a lot of focus, and I feel you've transformed in some way. Spirit is saying, are we still in shadow? Are we still unable to let go of anything that's hidden in the shadow that isn't allowing us to be the greatest version of ourselves, in order to allow something that could be a big blessing in our life, with our wishes coming true here for ourselves and for our family? So the big blessing here, I feel there's an opportunity to create something beautiful. And I feel like there has been an experience that it's kind of like the silver lining here, because I feel like something's been sad or depressing or difficult, and very difficult to kind of go in separate ways, or have to let this go, or make a decision here to part with an idea we had within ourselves. I think maybe we saw a potential, or we knew of something that wasn't real, or it got dissolved. And so we now march down this understanding, but Spirit is just saying, like, are we transcended enough and transformed enough and elevated enough to see the bigger picture here of something that is transforming into something that we might be still hanging on to our past experience? Now, I'm not saying to forgive someone who's completely screwed you over, because if someone's completely screwed you over, then, I mean, you might not be able to forgive this, but there's a need for you to trust in a situation here and extend some sort of forgiveness. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see, spirits. What am I missing here for pile 3? Pile 3's message in regards to this big blessing. What am I missing for pile 3? What is this big blessing? Clear and concise message. For the greatest and highest good of pile 3, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. For the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's pull what we have here. I'm going to be reading them all in the upright. we have adjustment with the Justice card. This is Libra energy. Balance, the Moon, Pisces, and Cancer. Four of Swords, truce. Yes, truce. 10 of Wands, oppression. Knight of Wands. I'm going to pull one more. Spirit, clear and concise message. What do we need to see here for the big blessing for pile 3? The universe. The world. Okay. It's the energy I'm picking up here. Something that was unjust. Something that needed adjustment, because we were needing to rise above some situation here that I feel was potentially imbalanced. We were needing to see some sort of truth here. We were seeing a perspective, I think, of something in a way that we wanted to see it, that got dissolved in some way. So we might be hanging on to this, believing at one point that maybe it was true, but that it's going to be continuously that truth is not necessarily fair, is what I'm hearing. So I think, like, yes, maybe something was true at some point, but I think things shift, and I think there's a need to adjust how we're seeing something in order for something to become balanced. There might be a lot of, again, illusion with how we're seeing it because of what we experienced in the past. So we're really stuck and fixated on seeing something as unjust or what happened rather than being in the present. Okay, the Moon is fear. The Moon is not seeing clearly. The Moon is also about being receptive and open, being able to communicate with the blue here and listen, okay? So we can trust and forgive if there's a real presence of being open. So I feel there's a heaviness here with truce, because truce is what I was really picking up, was like coming together, like a healing here. 4 of Swords is all about healing. All these swords are pointing to the center of this card, which I feel is very much the theme in all 3 readings here. It's about self. You know, did we heal self enough? Are we reflecting enough? Have we acknowledged where shadow might be lying, making decisions out of shadow because of past things rather than being in present? Are we able to sit with truths, or are we sitting with the pain of the past to make decisions? We need to be very reflective here, because I feel like we've been very much in an energy here with the 10 of Wands that's a heavy energy, okay, where we just had to maybe walk away with letting go. This oppression is, we just can't no more. This is like having to release something that's better served release because we can't carry it. It's such a burden and heavy. And so I feel like because maybe we experience a heaviness, we might fear or see this as a heavy, heavy, heavy situation, you know, that was at one point very imbalanced. And so we hang on to this as a truth, although I don't feel it is very clear about the present moment. So you might be called to acknowledge if someone is coming in for a truth, if there's action, or you're being called to act here with this Knight of Wands. Are we acting in the present moment towards the blessing, which I feel is creating abundance, or are we acting towards maybe something here that's stuck or seemingly in the past? I feel like there's an opportunity for you to close this out with this universe. Really put an end, get closure to a situation here so that you're able to find a truce. You're able to move forward with passion, excitement, not have to worry because we trust now, okay? Because the Knight of Wands is like think now, act later. It isn't hesitant. It isn't held back because of burdens of the past. It's inspired to act. Very quick energy. Okay, so are we fearing this? And if we are, Spirit is saying there's an opportunity for us to see something very clearly and rise above this in order to have a truce here so we can heal from something of the past that might have been very hard on us. So we have love with the 2 of Cups. You guys, I can't write this stuff. Truce. 2 energies being balanced where it wasn't. Coming together, okay? Love. Give and take, equal reciprocity, giving, sharing, receiving love. If it's not about a romantic relationship, then it's a partnership and finding balance, finding truce, finding cohesion. And the koi fish, all about abundance. The lotus flower, all about out of the gunk and the mud, we're still able to blossom here from something that was challenging and very difficult with the past. So I feel like there's two energies here that are able to express and share love and come together in union. A very beautiful energy, full of love, full of balance, full of healing, full of mending from something that might have felt like it was, I don't know, we have secrets, running away from problems, okay? And we even have judication, which could be a marriage, could be a soul contract here with someone, okay? Some sort of contract we have here. And I feel like we're now being given the opportunity to come together to create something, some cohesion, to put an end to something behind us that might have been very, very cyclical and slow. We've reflected, we've healed. Both parties are coming together equally. So there's been healing on both sides. Okay, there's no need to fear, but we need to trust and we need to forgive where we can. So this is what I have for you guys, pile 3. I hope this resonated for you. If you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. If not, then I love you very much. I'll see you soon. Bye.